So with all the Leica rumors or the Leica Q3 rumors, I just wanted to touch base on my Q2 and my thoughts on this new release, based on the rumors, nothing else, and who the hell knows what they're going to be. Some of the rumors are pretty accurate nowadays, but others are pretty far off base. My opinion is the Q2 is just going to become more popular if some of the rumors on the Q3 are correct. Now, I don't have any qualms with upgrading a camera or having new features on it, but the simplicity of the Q2 is what made it so popular. And it is simple. The 47 megapixel sensor is spectacular. I love this sensor. The lens is just one of the best I've ever used. Until you actually shoot with this, you just can't imagine the joy and the image quality. Now, I know people like to compare this, to the Fujifilm X100V. It's like comparing an apple to an orange. They're two totally different cameras. The only thing they have in common is they take pictures. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else in common. It's like comparing mirrorless cameras to iPhones. I don't get it. I don't know why they do it, but I guess it gets you views. So with the rumors going around with the tilt screen, it doesn't bother me either way. I don't plan on using it. I don't think I'd like it, but I know it'll bring a lot more people into this system. I love the way this is laid out and designed. And I love the flat screen. I have to put it up to my eye and take a picture. Well, I can do this, but I'm not going to down on the ground, and you know what I'm saying. The new face and eye detect works really, really well for contrast detect. I mean, I don't like phase autofocus because of the phase lines. I personally see them on images, and maybe it's just the way I shoot, but I always see them in images when I use phase detect. So I love this sensor the way it is. Even the 60 megapixel, if they threw phase detect in that, it would just bother me. So that would be kind of a deal breaker for me. Everything else I don't care about, but phase detect autofocus would bother me in this system because the image quality is it's just incredible. Now, the M11 60 megapixel sensor does have a little bit better, higher ISO. Slightly better, but this does just fine. But the thing is, the price drop that these cameras usually take, I don't think is going to be there with the Q2 when the Q3 is released, especially with those features, because this camera, I can't see it being out of date 10 years from now, let alone 5 years from now, which is really impressive. I can't see a reason that you would need better image quality than what this offers today in 10 years. Most of the camera upgrades today are more features that people really don't use a lot. They like to say that they have them, but they don't use them a lot. Me personally, I think the autofocus on this is just fine. I'm kind of digging the whole eye face auto detect, but I find myself more using manual focus on this because it's so easy to use than autofocus. And with this lens, it's simple, and just the quality is everything. And someone did actually make a comment saying the reason they don't like this camera is because the lens isn't really that good. I'm like, I'm sorry, but man, you must have one hell of a lens if you think this one's bad. Anyway, so I think the Q2 is going to gain popularity. I think it's going to be even more prevalent after the Q3 release, if some of those things are part of this Q3. But I would definitely wait a little bit if you're not into the system yet and you've always wanted one, because I think it's going to take a small price drop, but I don't think it's going to be that big. Just in my opinion, because this camera is really all that. And if you've never used one, use one, rent one. Try it. It's impressive. If you're going to buy one used from KEH or MPB, You know, they're worth having. And like I said, I hope the price drops a little bit for the people that aren't in this system yet, but I don't see it happening, honestly. For some reason, I just think this was their best Q2 or their best Q, obviously, because there's only two. But I just think even with the Q3 announcement, I think this is going to hold the test of time for another 10 years at least. So anyway, I just wanted to give you my opinion on the Q2 and the Q3 and see where it goes. But who knows? Until it's released, nobody knows what's on it. Thanks for watching.